Senator Markey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much.
Oh, I tore it up.
I just want to once again put the Commission on notice that the NRC is still not in compliance with its own policy and the law surrounding providing documents to members of your oversight committee. It has been almost 2 years since I first requested documents related to the indictment of 5 members of the Chinese military on charges of hacking and stealing nuclear reactor trade secrets from Westinghouse in 2010 and 2011. At the very same time that these thefts occurred, Westinghouse was hosting months-long visits for dozens of unescorted Chinese personnel at U.S. nuclear reactors. I have narrowed my document request. I have sent several letters. I have raised this in several hearings of this committee. I have raised it in private conversations with the chairman of the commission. My staff has been briefed by your staff. The commission still hasn't even provided me with the documents that others at the agency have already made it possible to get access to. I am not willing to accept briefings in lieu of my document request, nor is it helpful for the Commission to ignore the need to respond to my request until several days before the hearing. When you ask for a meeting on this issue, I expect the Commission's response to be my response to my request. Now, I just wanted to put that out on the record, and I would ask the Commission, again, to comply with the request for that information. In 2014, an insider at the Dole nuclear plant in Belgium sabotaged the reactor by draining all the oil from the reactor turbine. This was not all that sophisticated. It was basically the nuclear reactor technology equivalent of slashing someone's tires, but it caused more than $100 million in damage. 2 years earlier, a contractor at the plant who had passed a security background check traveled to Syria to fight with jihadist groups there. This incident is similar to that of Sharif Mobley, an American who worked at U.S. nuclear plants and subsequently fought with al-Qaeda in Yemen. Disturbingly, the background check investigations that are required for nuclear contract workers allow them to self-report their foreign travel. We also recently learned that 2 suicide bombers in the Brussels terrorist attacks had collected video footage at the home of a Belgian nuclear official. Commissioner Baran, do you agree that in light of these disturbing reports from Belgium, the Commission should take a new look at its design basis threat, force-on-force, mock terrorist exercises, and other security regulations?
I have to be careful answering that just because the design basis threat issues are classified. I can say that the NRC staff is taking a look at this issue, and I believe that's appropriate.
Yeah.
The events you raised are something that is being looked at by our security folks.
Yeah. We know that nuclear power plants gaining access to those materials are at the top of the terrorist target list, so I recommend very strongly that you put in place a program to re-examine the measures that we have in place. That's where they're going, and we've been warned, and I think it's critical for us to have heeded those warnings. The NRC is currently doing a rulemaking to address decommissioning in light of the many reactors that are now or soon to be shutting down, including the Pilgrim plant in Massachusetts. The Commission has told the staff that the new rules should consider the concerns of state and local officials, but the nuclear industry wants the Commission to eliminate the consideration of state and local officials' views from the rulemaking altogether. At a recent NRC meeting, Massachusetts State Senator Dan Wolf said the industry's suggestion was absurd. Starting with Commissioner Baran, do you all agree that it would be absurd to eliminate all consideration of state and local officials' concern in your decommissioning rulemaking?
I agree that would be a very bad idea. I think we absolutely, as part of that rulemaking, should look at the appropriate role of state and local governments in the process.
Okay, can we keep coming down the panel? Do you agree that would?
Senator Markey, we had a good commission meeting on this topic here last month. We heard the state senator from your state, his comments, and we're considering all these comments as we go forward here.
Okay, thank you.
Senator, the NRC staff is engaging and looking at all of the public input that came in. The comment period is closed, and I look forward to their evaluation of all of that public comment.
Mr. Chairman.
It's really the same response. I haven't made up my mind of this. I want to look at the comments. I want to extend my appreciation to Commissioner Baran for suggesting this meeting. I think when you and a number of others wrote to us, this was one of the impetuses for holding that meeting on the decommissioning issues.
Okay, well, again, only one of you can right now say yes, that the state officials should be listened to, and I think that's not a good.
Well, I don't think that's what I said. That's not what I mean to imply. I think we need to take into consideration those views in this process.
Okay.
Right.
That's-
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Markey.